Hello everyone, and welcome to today's Stormlight video. So yeah, like I said, previous reaction video, I was recording another reaction video tonight, Thursday night, but of course, hopefully I can actually get this out on Friday. So this being technically my Friday reaction. So yeah, this particular video is a video that has definitely been on my list of videos to react to for quite some time, but now I finally get to react to today. So I'm pretty excited. So today, I'm reacting to the first of several Pinkie Tales videos. So basically, Pinkie Tales, Applejack, and the Beanstalk. The whole series by Magpie Pony. So yeah, I definitely. Yeah, those who don't know, she also has done the Princess Tricky Sparkle series. She also does comic dubs with Pegasus Pitch. So I definitely like all those particular series / videos. So yeah, and of course with this and a few other videos being based on like old fairy tales. So and yeah, with this one being based off Jack the Beanstalk, but of course with Applejack in the mix and probably a few other ponies, it's pretty entertaining. And of course, I saw the ones after this one are like with like Little Red Riding Hood. I think the Three Little Pigs, and then like the latest one with Cinderella, but Cindershy. So yeah, I'll definitely get to those in the future. But yeah, for today I'll of course react to the first of these videos. So yeah, so without further ado, let's get started. But first, clear the throat a bit. Alright, so let's react to Pinkie Tales, Applejack, and the Beanstalk here. In 3, 2, 1, play. Alright, Pinkie Tales. Okay. Yeah, Pinkie Tales. Yeah, I get it.
Pinkie Tales. Applejack and the Beanstalk.
Okay. Definitely curious how they're gonna do their take on the fairy tale. That's kind of nice that she's reading the stories to the kids.
Story tonight? It's a good one. It's all about this pony and this plant and this huge. Well, I'll just get to it.
Yeah. Okay. That's a nice Pinkie voice.
Upon a time.
Of course, gotta start off like that.
In a kingdom far away, there
That's
was
a nice outfit for AJ. Of course, wearing my
Applejack.
Applejack t-shirt.
Although her name would lead you to believe that she harvested apples, it was a common misconception.
Wait.
What?
Misconception is quite a big word. You could just say incorrect. That's a big word too. Mistake? Over?
Thank you, Pinkie.
I love this
Applejack
back
and
just
her
for
mother,
Pinkie there.
Mrs. Sparkle.
It's like
were in
how she
fact
booked for a
cotton
while.
makers. And as every pony knows, clothing for ponies is an unnecessary luxury.
Yeah. Wait,
Especially
they don't
in
need
hard
to wear
times
them?
like these. Therefore, they were suffering financially.
Why don't you just say that they needed bets?
That's what it means, Pinkie.
Oh, carry on then.
Goddamn, Pinkie.
Times were so hard, in fact, that Mrs. Sparkle and her daughter only had one last thing to their name.
Whoa.
A cow named Rainbow Vine.
Wait. Nice punch.
Because a bovine is another word for a cow, and it's Rainbow Dash.
On the day that Mrs. Sparkle and her daughter had finished the last of their bread, she turned to her daughter and said,
"You must go into town and sell our cow for some bits.
That's a really good Twilight
or we will
voice.
surely starve."
Our cow? You mean Rainbow?
Moo!
Don't dawdle, Applejack, and don't stop for anything on your way. Except no less than 10 bits for her.
So with Rainbow Vine in tow, Applejack made her way along the worn path towards town.
Applejack does look happy.
Moo! So
Say
is that
boo
all
or
you
moo?
can say then?
Moo?
Well, howdy there.
Oh,
and
God,
hello
these
to
two.
You, fellow traveler.
A smooth-talking sales pony and his brother said,
Oh, boy.
approaching Applejack with friendly yet somehow still sinister smiles.
Yeah, I bet.
Let me guess. You're interested in the cow.
I definitely like the
Mighty
voice
fine
cast. They're
beast you
doing a
got
really good
there.
job so far.
If you're looking to sell, I'm sure we could take it off your hooves for, say, 5 bits.
5 bits? Aren't you supposed to be tricking me into selling her for some magic beans?
What?
Magic
wait,
beans?
what?
One of the brothers said, then turned to the other.
Why, of course we have ourselves some magic beans. Magic to its finest.
The other brother
Confused, like, why does she think they
Of
sell
course,
a
these
beans
here
or
are
whatnot?
precious beans, and we wouldn't part with them for just anything.
Do we gotta trade or what?
Deal.
Okay.
Really? I mean, moo!
I like how she's trying to talk, but of course she's supposed to say
The
moo.
ponies had vanished with Rainbow Vine, leaving
Looks like she
poor
said, like,
foolish
jelly beans or
Applejack with
something.
3 lousy and ordinary beans.
They're supposed to be magic beans.
Yes, of course.
Yeah, he's
Pinkie.
supposed to find out later.
3 lousy and magical beans.
Better.
When
So you're
Applejack
trying to
proudly
be
presented the
Pinkie
beans
the
to
narrator.
her mother, however, Mrs. Sparkle was far less than pleased.
Yeah, but
Beans? Beans? I sent you into town for bits, not beans. We cannot live on 3 beans, Applejack.
at
What
least
were you
one a meal.
thinking?
I'm just doing what's supposed to be done, and I know for a fact this story has the cow traded for beans.
Oh,
Worthless.
that's a
Mrs.
story?
Sparkle
Okay.
exclaimed, tossing the beans from her hoof into the dry, brittle yard just outside the window.
Well, maybe you could use your
But they're
alicorn
still there.
magic to make them into magic beans.
I don't know what you're talking about. There's no such thing as magic beans.
But-
End of story. Now off to bed with you.
But she's
I'll have
Yorker
to
and
come
it
up
uses
with another
magic.
plan
I
to
don't
get
know.
food in this
This is-
house.
What Mrs. Sparkle didn't know was that the beans she had unknowingly planted were in fact magical, and by the full moon's light, they took root in the hard soil and sprung up into a beanstalk that soared into the sky
Okay.
and pierced through clouds.
Didn't look like it all the way, just went a little bit
When
above
morning
screen.
finally
Oh, there we go.
came, Applejack and her mother gazed in awe at the beanstalk, letting their imaginations run wild with the possibilities
Like
of
how it's
where it
more like a
could lead.
staircase there or something.
Maybe
Stairway?
I should climb it.
Well,
Are you sure, Applejack? It looks rather dangerous.
Dangerous? How is this dangerous? There's a spiral ramp conveniently wrapped around the
yeah,
beanstalk.
like I said, it's
all the way
pretty
up.
convenient.
Please be careful, my daughter.
Mrs. Sparkle said, embracing Applejack one final time before Applejack began the climb.
Honestly, the least these storytellers could do is write in a proper challenge. What, do they think I can't climb a beanstalk on my own?
What story is
Applejack
she referring to?
granted,
This
just
one or?
before she broke through the cloud cover.
Well,
I'm guessing.
that
I'm
was
wondering who's the
fast.
giant here. Guess we'll
Applejack
find out in a
added,
sec.
taking a look around, and discovered an entire world above the clouds that no pony would have ever dreamed.
Wait, am I expected to walk on this here cloud?
Can
I'm
she?
still just an earth pony, you know. Do
Yeah.
that sort of thing without Twilight's magic. Oh well.
Applejack took a wary step onto the cloud, and found, much to her surprise, that it was firm as solid ground.
Oh, that's good
She
then.
wandered away from the beanstalk and took note of the strange plants, which seemed
Yeah.
far larger than those back in Equestria.
Yeah, especially on
Even the
cloud.
blades of grass could tower over
That's a
her in some
pretty
places.
colorful house there.
After wandering for a few minutes, Applejack came upon a giant building, and her
Wait.
eyes widened
That's a,
as she
that color
beheld
scheme is pretty similar to Bonbon there. At least the tiles there.
A giant bakery. Gee, I wonder who could possibly live in a giant bakery.
Or
in the
Pinkie,
sky.
I don't know.
Still, she knew that bakeries had all manner of wonderful things to eat, and that perhaps this was the answer to all of her problems.
Probably, especially with. Oh
Without
yeah,
so
that's
much
quite a
as
bit of food there.
Applejack easily slipped under the giant bakery's door and craned her neck up to see shelves upon shelves of wonderful things to eat. There were pastries, creams, pies, cakes, donuts, and loaves of delicious bread for as far as she could see.
Yeah, that looks pretty good.
The only problem was that each of these delectable goodies were too high to reach and too heavy to lift and bring back home. While she pondered her
Especially like
predicament,
take her size there
Applejack
compared to
could hear
their
a
stuff.
faint
Yeah, she's
tooting
pretty small.
sound coming from somewhere on the table nearby. She wandered closer, the sound becoming progressively louder as she did so. It reminded her of the sound of a tuba, intermingled with the sobs of a pony. Once she reached one of the legs of the table, she paused.
Oh look! Another conveniently placed spiral ramp leading from the floor to the table.
What the hell,
How
AJ?
totally unexpected.
Applejack climbed the leg of the table, and once she reached the top, she saw an array of wonderful sugary things to eat. There were jellies as tall as buildings, and pies as wide as farmland,
Dang.
cakes as deep as ravines, and all manner of candies scattered about in a chaotic fashion. She was so
weird stuff here.
overtaken by the sight that she nearly forgot the reason she had climbed in the first place.
Find some
It
food.
wasn't until she heard another loud and out-of-tune tuba tune that she continued her
That sounds like a
pursuit of the
fart.
sound. When she
Whoa,
turned the corner,
Rarity?
Applejack saw what she believed was just a regular tuba.
I think I'm doing
slumped
remember
against
it being
a piece
some type
blueberry
of tuba or
pie.
something story.
What she didn't realize
I think it was a harp
that
or
the
something.
tuba itself was moving and sobbing as it made its off-key noises.
Is that the only sound she can
everything
make?
all right there, miss?
Ah, don't. Oh, don't start me like
Oh,
that, darling.
okay, at least you can talk.
In front of guests.
Are you supposed to be a magical talking tuba?
Yes. Oh, whoa.
Can you sure is that Rarity be the tuba?
I thought you were supposed to be a harp. Isn't it a magical singing
Yeah, she was
harp?
first in the original story.
Harp. Oh, I wish it were so, darling. Toot. But instead, I am stuck as a dreadful tuba making all kinds of terrible toot noises. Oh, but where are my manners? Hello there, young traveler. I am Raritoot.
Raritude.
Really?
Yes, really. And I am.
I like how Asians kind of break the fourth wall here, kind of referring to the
Well,
original
go on.
Jack the
Ask
Beanstalk
why
story.
I'm sorrowful.
Why are you sorry?
Because I am a captive in this dreadful place, forced to play music, party music, for the wicked giant's many parties. Toot. I would rather be playing classical pieces and sounding as light as a lute, but no, I am stuck playing. some
That's a really good
tuba
radio voice there,
every
Brenda.
pony dance now, and the tuba rendition of the Macarena.
Raritoot cried, and with each sob, she let out
Rarity,
another
goddamn.
tooting sound. Applejack winced at the sound and covered her ears.
Yeah, especially
At
it got
this
louder and
point,
louder.
She would say anything to make the awful noises stop.
Well, how's about I help you escape then?
You would do that for me?
Yeah.
Oh, how wonderful!
As long as she does make her toot
Become
noises.
the best of friends, you and I. Perhaps you could learn to play the violin or the cello, and then we could perform concerts together and.
Whoa now, wait just a minute. I said I'd help you escape. I never said you could come home with me.
But I have nowhere else to go.
Come on, take her with you.
Toot. You simply must take me with you.
Yeah, so she doesn't cry anymore.
I don't know.
I can surely make it worth your while, darling.
How so?
And how's that?
I know of a magical tree that the giant keeps, which bears fruit of the golden apple. Each one 24 carats at least.
Nice.
They're mighty delicious, darling, if used the right way. Toot. Though I suppose they could be sold for profit too if you so desired.
Golden apples! So that's why I've been led here.
You get the
Show
gold
me
app.
the way, Raritoot.
I think she was gonna say Rarity.
Sure, why not? I
There's
can
a
shove
lot
the
of
golden
here.
apples in my ears to drown out the tooting.
Oh, this is positively marvelous! Ah, toot, 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 toot.
Oh, great.
Could you try not to do that, please?
Goddamn.
I'll do my best, darling, but I am a tuba after all.
Yeah.
It's in my nature. Follow me then. Oh, and don't eat any of the food or there will be drastic consequences.
What kind of consequences?
Yeah, what kind?
Let us hope you don't find out. Come along.
Okay.
Applejack followed after Raritoot.
What? Who's Asian
Princess
smiling now?
had certainly been piqued.
Yeah.
Why would taking a bite of food be so wrong? At first, it was an easy request to follow, but with each new delicious treat after another,
Can't you
they
tempt him?
became more and more tempting.
Wait, yep.
It seemed to Applejack that each new dessert was better than the last, and her stomach rumbled each time she avoided taking a bite. She hadn't eaten since the day before, and even then it was a meager meal at best. Still, Applejack did as Raritoot had advised, until she caught sight
apple pie.
of the most amazing dessert she had ever seen and smelled.
So it's prepaid pie.
What is that?
Why, it's a golden apple pie, of
Oh,
course.
golden apple
Made
pie.
from the apples
Okay.
of the tree we are seeking.
Golden apple.
Ooh, sorry, I'm spitting
Applejack
tired right
trailed
now.
off, her
Might
hooves
take a nap rather than
unconsciously
this one.
walking closer to it.
Here we are, darling. The tree is just around the corner. Wait, what are you doing?
Raritoot screamed with a loud toot of distress. Applejack had wandered over to the pie, her eyes
AJ?
transfixed on its golden filling. Her mouth watered.
I don't know
and
if
her
I take a
stomach
bite of it.
rumbled loudly. And though she could hear Raritoot's annoying and loud warnings not to, Applejack leaned in and took a bite. It was
Oh
the
boy.
most amazing pie she had ever tasted, and she buried her face into the pie for another bite. Without the same.
Oh god, I guess it is
The door
Pinkie.
burst open, scaring Applejack so much that she leaped into the golden pie to hide.
Oh boy.
Standing at the door with a
Oh,
large
that's pretty
grin on
instant
her
outfit
face
Pinkie's
was
wearing
none
there.
other than Pinkie the Giant.
Bee, bye, diddly dum, do.
Wait, do.
Bee. Who dares steal a bite?
Okay.
Pastry.
Pinkie the Giant bounced from the door to the table, causing the room to quake as if the earth itself was
I bet.
moving. Raritoot screamed with a toot and ducked behind a large piece of cake while Applejack struggled to keep her hat on her head as the golden apple pie bounced up and down on the tabletop.
All clear here.
Pinkie the Giant said as she inspected a cupcake on the opposite end of the
Well, I
table.
don't see AJ, so that's a good thing.
Nothing wrong here. Or
I'm
here.
just curious, she was able to like hear or
examined
sense
each
someone
pastry,
taking a bite of her
picking up
pastry,
one
so
at
that's
time,
quite a
looking for
talent.
any
I
little
don't know.
missing pieces or nibbles. Applejack frantically poked her head out of the pie and looked for a new hiding place. She saw Raritoot giving her a nasty glare, and then she noticed the tree that she had been searching for. It was no more than 50 yards from the pie, with a yellow
I
trunk
can't
and
see the
light
tree.
pink leaves, and on each of the many branches hung a bright golden apple. Although the room was shaking with every bounce from the giant, Applejack could have sworn she saw the tree shaking in fear all on its own.
What?
Nice pie.
Oh crap,
Pinkie
AJ,
exclaimed,
back out
holding
there.
the golden apple pie to her nose to smell. Applejack shouted,
Whoa!
falling with a splat back into the pie.
Oh crap.
What? My pie can talk?
Oh,
Pinkie cried, dropping the pie onto the table and causing many other desserts to fall over.
Oh, say something.
I just have to
else.
say, like, whoever's doing like the artwork or
Applejack
vectors
paused
for this
and
video,
popped her head out of the
definitely
pie,
very nice job, especially with the
gasping for
outfits
air
they're wearing.
before
Very nice.
she met the gaze of the rather disappointed giant.
Aw, you're not a talking pie at all. You're just a pie thief.
Oh,
Pinkie the Giant said, reaching down with her hoof and scooping Applejack out of the pie.
oh boy.
Applejack was barely able to grab her hat in time and cringed when she put its wet stickiness back on her head.
Blech.
Who are you? And what do you want with my desserts?
You don't know who I am, Pinkie?
Of course I don't, Applejack. This is the
Wait.
first time I've ever seen you before.
Wait, you said her name.
Just say
It doesn't matter anyway. You have been filed for previous
What's going on?
now you must pay.
Is this actually like? Oh
Yes,
Christ.
Giant.
Play me a tune. An old western kind of tune.
Oh boy.
And this pony in a hat gives me a great idea.
What's that?
Before Applejack could wonder what Pinkie the Giant could possibly be planning.
What?
She found herself in the corner of the bakery where a collection of fun-sized toys strewn about the countertop.
What the
In
hell?
a flash, Applejack was redressed in cow pony boots, a
That's
white
a
hat,
pretty nice outfit
and
for
a
her.
vest where a cheap but golden sheriff star was pinned. While Applejack tried to figure out how she could be dressed so quickly, Pinkie the Giant had set up an entire old western scene complete with shops, desert sand,
What?
and an old railroad track.
Huh?
what's this here?
I'm curious
setup
where she
all
got all
about?
that from.
Applejack asked, attempting to take her hat off. Of course, Pinkie the Giant was having none of that.
I bet.
She readjusted the hat on Applejack's head. She picked up a little purple alicorn toy dressed in a similar designed black outfit and a crudely drawn black mustache.
It's very bad.
Ah, we meet again, Sheriff Applebottom.
Apple
You can't
pie.
stop me or my evil plan.
Are we really doing this, Pinkie?
Quiet! Don't you want to know what my plan is?
What nefarious plan
Not
have you
nefarious.
concocted, Pinkie?
Pinkie? Who is this Pinkie?
Nice.
I am Midnight Moonshine.
Midnight Moonshine. Oh, I bet though I bet
realize
Magpie
that's
had a lot of
another
fun voicing that.
Help me, Sheriff Applebottom.
Pinkie said, speaking for a different toy on the playset. This was a white unicorn mare with a deep purple mane that was tied crudely to the train track.
It's pretty
with a
bad
piece of
tie
giant
there.
yarn.
Ha ha ha! Save her if you can, Applebottom. And while you do,
I'm just really curious how they came up with this crap.
no pony can stop me.
Applejack looked from Pinkie to the toys that were roughly her size.
I don't have time for this.
I bet.
Pinkie lowered her head and rested it on the table, looking Applejack in the eye, glaring darkly.
What did you say?
I said, fret not, miss.
Rarity.
Oh, so we're not changing her name then?
Nothing else fit right.
Away, Rarity made an unimpressed tooting sound.
Oh, poor Rarity.
It's Rarity then. I shall save you.
Applejack sauntered.
Oh no,
toward
he
the
got
Rarity
strained.
doll. It too was dressed for the part, wearing a red frilly gown and a hat that she was sure that real Rarity would never dare to wear. She got down on the yarn and pulled, wondering what the catch was. That was, of course, when Applejack caught sight of a toy train heading her way.
Oh boy.
Hurry, Miss Applebottom.
Really?
Hurry.
Yeah. Yeah, before the train hits them.
Concern it, I'm doing my best.
Pinkie screamed in place of the Rarity doll, just as Applejack pulled it free.
Alright.
The toy train sped by and straight off the counter,
Oh,
landing with a
jeez.
crash on the unforgiving ground below. This did not seem to deter Pinkie as she cheered for the doll.
Okay.
Applebottom, you're my hero.
How far she could take this?
Pink Rarity. Are we done now?
Done? We've only just begun.
Like, what else
Pinkie
you
the
got?
Giant exclaimed, motioning to the cupboard behind her to show Applejack the many
Sorry, it's
hundreds
like-
of
I heard my
outfits
neighbors
and
being pretty
playsets
loud.
she had stored away for playtime. The pit of Applejack's stomach dropped, and her eyes widened, imagining the horrors that were to come.
Yeah.
But I do have to take a teensy-weensy break to finish baking all the goodies for the party. Giant gummies cake must be perfect.
Okay.
Pinkie the Giant said, swooping Applejack up with one swipe of her hoof. She hummed merrily to herself as she placed Applejack on the shelf in the play cupboard, as if she were now one of the many toys Pinkie had collected.
Okay.
As Pinkie closed the cupboard
Yeah, I don't
door,
remember the giant doing
Applejack
this.
quickly pushed her
Though, of
hat
course, it
and
has been a while
waved
since
the
I read the
lock.
actual fairy tale
Pinkie the
story.
Giant turned the key and bounced
Oh.
away, assuming that she had successfully locked Applejack inside.
I'm
From
guessing
the table
not.
below, Rarity caught sight of Applejack's trick and intended to use her music to aid in her escape. She turned her attention to Pinkie the Giant, tooting as she hobbled towards her.
Might I play you a tune while you cook your delicacies?
Oh,
What?
a happy working song?
Well,
No, Pinkie. Disney
Wait,
claimed
wait.
the rights to that one.
Aww.
oh.
Something soothing.
Rarity offered, trying her best to play a tune
was
to
curious who's
lull
like
the giant
playing
to
the tuba here.
sleep.
It's very
A
nice.
hard task to do when you're a tuba. Of course, as it is with these sorts of fairy tales, Pinkie the Giant was helpless to Raritude's song. She set down her giant baking sheet of cookies and rested her head on the table.
Oh.
After a few minutes of silence,
Okay, they actually
Applejack
put her to
could
sleep?
hear her
Okay.
soft snores. She struggled a little at first to pull her hat free, then bucked the wood of the door to open it.
Okay.
Being careful not to make a sound, Applejack leapt from the cupboard and onto the countertop, securing her hat back onto her head. She looked to the door and almost ran to safety when she remembered the delicious golden apples.
Just leave the
She
pie
thought
back.
perhaps if the
At
giant
least
slept
the
long
apples
enough,
at least get a
she
apple
could
or
take
something.
the tree for herself.
Whoa, hang on a sec. Applejack wouldn't steal.
Pinkie, you're supposed to be asleep.
Oh, right.
It's like, what is this?
Applejack
Is this
crept
that type
along
of
the
play or something?
countertop,
I don't know if
hopping
I
from saucepan to baking sheet, making her way back towards the table. At long last, she reached
Really?
the golden apple tree.
Of course!
marveling at the
Had the
delicious
flourish
fruit
shot being the tree. It's
Maybe I could have just one.
Applejack
looks as she
said,
could take
turning
the
around
whole
to
tree,
buck
so it's
the bark
pretty
of the
small.
tree and cause an apple to
Surprisingly.
fall.
Oh,
oh, the tree could.
if you don't mind, I would rather you didn't do that.
Fluttershy?
What?
Are you a tree?
Who is Fluttershy?
Aren't you? Well, then who are you?
I'm Flutter Tree.
Of course.
Yeah, of course.
Of course you're called Fluttertree. Alright, I'll play along.
She's been doing pretty well
Fluttertree,
job playing wrong.
would you be so kind as to allow me to take you home with me?
Oh, I don't know. That's not very nice. I mean, I don't really like it
Oh,
here,
I forget her name right now, but I think it's Mary Manley. At least
the
voice actor voice is Fluttershy for the Bright
What
Discord
does
series, so I
Fluttertree
think that's pretty
want?
cool.
Well,
And she does pretty nice
will
Fluttershy
there be
voice.
little animals where you live?
Well,
I live on a
Yeah,
farm.
yes?
Little critters are always wandering about.
Oh, like little pigs and cows and chickens? And
yes?
some songbirds and squirrels.
Something like that. So, what do you say?
Oh, alright. I'll come with you. But
Well,
how do you expect to carry me away all on your own?
on that wagon there?
I figured I'd use the conveniently placed wagon about
Yeah,
10
conveniently
feet from where I'm
placed that.
standing.
Applejack said, tilting her head to the side to indicate to the little red wagon waiting behind Fluttertree.
I guess all them ramps make sense now. Can't wheel you out
My
of here
neighbor's
without
being
them.
really loud right now. I'm too
Applejack
apologized
pushed
for that.
Fluttertree towards the wagon, and then used every ounce of her strength to lift it into place.
Okay.
As she strained and groaned under the weight of the tree,
Yeah, I bet the tree's
one of
been
the
heavy
golden
for her.
apples shook loose and plopped right onto her head.
Oh, I'm so sorry.
Applejack merely shook her head and picked up the apple that had fallen. She rubbed it on her vest before taking a mouth-watering bite.
We're gonna be the talk of the town once I get these here apples home. No pony will be able to resist them,
I
and our
bet.
money troubles will be over.
Applejack declared, finishing the apple with a satisfied smirk. She took the handle of the wagon in her mouth and carefully pulled it along the tabletop as far from the sleeping giant as she could. From
well,
the corner of her eye, Raritoot could see Applejack and Fluttertree nearing the edge of the table, where the
Oh,
ramp
I'm
around the
guessing she
leg
still
would
wants
take
to go with.
them safely down. She gasped in horror, thinking that Applejack had forgotten her promise to take her along. She hurried across the table towards them, each hop making a toot sound. The more frantically
that
she
is great.
hopped, the louder and off-key the toots became.
Shh! Can't you keep that racket down?
Probably not.
Forgot me? Don't! After all I've done for you, and you were just going to leave me here?
Shh! I was not. I was gonna get this here tree to the floor first and then come back for you. I swear.
A likely story. You didn't even want to go with me in the first place.
Oh, I take
Why'd
Raritoot
you
with
want
me.
a useless, ugly old Tuba line
Oh no!
Toot.
Please, Raritoot, you have to keep it down. The giant might wake up and...
It's always about that silly old tree, isn't it? Toot.
Whoa.
Oh, these apples are so delicious. What an amazing tree. Such a magical wonder. I bet it's the rarest fruit ever grown.
Raritoot!
No!
Raritoot shouted, letting out a loud toot as she did so. Applejack put a hoof to her face and closed her eyes as she heard the unwelcome sound of the giant waking up.
Oh boy, that ain't good.
That bungee jumping equipment?
What?
I mean, what's going on
What
here?
about something about gym equipment?
Where's my tuba? My golden apple tree?
Run!
Yeah.
Applejack
Run,
shouted,
bitch!
running
Run!
Fluttertree down the leg of the table and towards the door.
Yeah.
Wait for me!
Yeah.
Raritoot objected,
Leave Raritoot
bumping into a
behind.
large cupcake as she pursued Applejack. The cupcake teetered on the edge of the table before landing with a splat mere inches from Fluttertree.
Oh.
Applejack smeared some of the splattered frosting from her face with disdain before continuing towards the opened door.
What?
You left the door open?
Yes, Pinkie, it's called a plot device.
Well, that wasn't very smart of me. Applejack might get away with my stuff.
That's the point, Pinkie.
Goddamn.
Oh. Okay, you can continue.
Pinkie the
I just
giant
love these
listened
four-ball
for the
breaks
toots of her
throughout this
tuba
video.
until
Goddamn.
she spotted them making their exit. She growled and raced for the door ahead of them.
Yeah, boy.
Before she could make it, however, Pinkie stepped down on the fallen cupcake
Whoa,
and slid
whoa,
from one
oh
end
no,
of the room
Pinkie.
to the other, colliding into a wall.
Ooh. That probably hurt a bit.
I'm okay. I'm okay.
Sure.
Applejack, Raritoot,
Oh, boy.
and Fluttertree made their way
Yeah,
outside
she looks
towards
pissed.
the beanstalk. Pinkie the giant was on their tail, and
Yeah.
Raritoot screamed a toot so loudly in panic that Applejack's ears went flat against her head.
I bet.
Could you stop that? We're trying to make our escape here.
Get back here, thief!
Yeah.
Even if it is uncharacteristic that you would be stealing anything, we're going to
Yeah, it's like she's out of character.
premises!
Pinkie the giant shouted after them. Applejack bucked Raritude up into
Let's
the
get it.
wagon,
Where?
alongside Fluttertree, then got behind the wagon and pushed it.
Yeah.
What are you doing?
Yeah, push all your
Hang
strength.
on, Miss Tuba. We're in for a ride.
Applejack said, pushing the wagon onto the beanstalk and then hopping into it herself. With a loud
Yeah!
Nice.
the three of them rolled down the beanstalk ramp.
Oh.
Raritude
Hopefully it don't
screaming
like
the
roll
entire
off or
way
anything.
down. Mrs. Sparkle had waited half the day for her daughter to return. She looked up at the beanstalk curiously when she heard a strange sound of a
Toot?
screaming tuba. Much to her surprise, Applejack and her two new companions rolled off the beanstalk, missing the house to land in the dead cotton fields.
Twilight, the axe, quick!
From the clouds
Yeah, I
above,
never cut that.
Pinkie
Oh, the
Giant
Pinkie
waited
does
at
not
the
hear
top
as
of the
well.
beanstalk and watched
Because I remember the
Applejack
original, like
make her
that. The giant was on the
descent.
beanstalk and when it fell over, he
Hold
died
on.
or something. Well,
Why are you waiting, Pinkie?
Whoa.
Shouldn't you be pursuing them?
Oh, that would be silly. I'm a giant and I could have caught up to them in 2 bounces. Not to mention I could climb down much faster than a rolling wagon before she even had a chance to find an axe.
So you're just going to wait here for her?
Yep. It's a pretty big plot hole in the original story if you ask me.
yeah, I
Once
guess.
Applejack's axe began chipping away at the beanstalk, Pinkie the Giant resumed her chase, sliding down the beanstalk
Is
like
she-
it was a fire pony pole.
Is she getting fast enough though?
Before she could reach the ground, however,
Oh.
Applejack's axe had cut clean into the beanstalk,
oh, no,
and the entire
Pinkie.
plant toppled to the ground.
Oh crap. What?
Pinkie the Giant was a few feet
Okay.
from the ground when she suddenly stopped in midair
Whoa.
and righted herself,
Uh,
landing softly on her
I guess
hooves.
she's for a cat.
Like a cat. Always landing on my paws.
yeah, like a cat.
Hooves.
Except you slipped on a cupcake 2 minutes ago.
We don't talk about that.
Once on the ground, Pinkie the Giant spotted the only living creature in sight. It was a brightly colored cow with rainbow hair.
What is she gonna do
She
with
shook
her?
on her hooves when she looked up at the giant, too shocked to run.
Oh my goodness. It's a rainbow vine. I bet I can get her to milk me rainbow milk too. And I can make rainbow butter, rainbow cake, rainbow pudding.
Pinkie the Giant leaned down and swooped up the cow.
Oh no, Rainbow!
Who needs some crummy old golden apples anyway? This is so much better.
Pinkie the
Okay.
Giant grabbed a tuft of cloud passing by
Oh.
and fashioned it into a flight of stairs. She hummed a merry tune to herself as she bounced back up to her home in the sky, drowning out the frantic mooing of Rainbow Vine as she went.
Oh no! Rainbow!
Meanwhile, Applejack and her mother delighted in their new
Goddamn.
fruit tree, picking the golden apples that would magically appear once the fruit had been picked.
Alright.
With the seeds from the apples, they replanted their dead fields until an entire orchard of flutter trees sprang up from the ground.
Oh, okay. Oh, God, it's more enough.
I'm so sorry. Did I hit your branch? Pardon me.
Oh.
I'm sorry.
Oh, no.
Take a few hops to the left.
Oh, Christ.
I'm sorry. You're resting on my roots. Oh, my bad. Oh, look, a little blue jay. Where? Oh, these animals are so cute. Oh, he's so cute.
I don't know if I can handle it before, size.
Oh, he's so adorable. Isn't it?
I think I might have a heart attack to give this.
The animals are so cute. Oh, sorry. Pardon me.
Raritude spent her time playing songs for Applejack and Mrs. Sparkle as they harvested their new crop, whether they liked it or not. And with the money they earned making golden apple products, they were finally able to pay off their debts and live a comfortable life.
That's good.
The end.
Oh.
Good night, Pound.
Oh.
Good night, Pumpkin.
Okay.
Sweet dreams, my little ponies.
Yeah, she
Good
said.
night to you too out there.
Oh.
Hope to see you next time for some more Pinkie Tales.
Okay. Alright, so I think we're gonna pause there since, yeah, yeah, that's what I did. So, anyway, so that was Pinkie Tales, Applejack, and the Beanstalk, and yeah, that was definitely a very nice video based off the original fairy tale. I definitely really liked what they did there. Very nice job. Alright, so I definitely like, you know, this whole series kind of is based on like I think I kind of saw in a couple of other ones as well. I think it's basically based off Pinkie Pie telling these fairy tales to the cake babies or siblings, whatever specifically called. But yeah, it's gotta tell them the stories here, and yeah, kind of like each of the like either like the main six or our ponies are playing a certain character here. So obviously, with Applejack being Jack, Twilight being her mother, Pinkie Pie being the giant, Rarity being the tuba, or at least from the original story, a harp. So, but I really like that they changed the tuba. Definitely played a lot more jokes here. And then yeah, we had Rainbow play the cow, or is it Rainbow Vine thing. And then we have Fluttershy be the flower tree thing with the golden apples. I thought that was also pretty fun, especially at the end where they play a bunch of flutter trees and they started being apologetic and all that. So I thought that was something very funny too. And yeah, I definitely really like the voice guys that got this. Definitely everyone did a very good job. Definitely sound a lot like what they sound like in the original show. That yeah, very nice the cast choice here. And I definitely also like how they kind of broke the fourth wall. Or like like with AJ, she kind of knew like who their original names were, but of course like for the sake of the story, they you call it like Fluttertree, Raritute, or whoever. So I kind of like how she was kind of like like the only one, like at least the one that was able to admit that she was aware that everyone was being weird or whatnot for this. So yeah, I got that was pretty fun. And of course, I think at least definitely like Pinkie Pie throughout the video also basically like stop the story or to like question like what basically is going on in the story at the moment. So I definitely liked her breaking the fourth wall. And of course, I definitely really liked the Raritute kind of joke where yeah, of course every time she talked or she was moving, she started making those those toot noises. And I thought that was definitely very well done and definitely very fun to watch. So yeah, I definitely like those parts. So and yeah, I kind of like how they ended up there, with Pinkie Pie taking Rainbow Fine with her, making rainbow milk and cake and stuff like that. And then yeah, AJ Twilight able to plant a bunch of flower trees to make their own little business, and yeah, able to keep Raritute, even though they probably don't want her to stay. So I think yeah, that's definitely compared to the original story. I think that's definitely very nice. And in there, definitely no one died or anything. So yeah, so overall, I definitely like the first of these Pinkie Tales videos. I definitely like what they did with the original story. I definitely liked how like specific characters each of the main six played. I definitely like how they portrayed the characters and what they did. And yeah, it's like how the whole overall video was shown here with the story. So yeah, I definitely enjoyed that. And yeah, I believe the next one being based off the story of Little Red Riding Hood, but I think it's Little Red Riding Bloom, or obviously by that it's gonna be Apple Bloom portraying Little Red there. So that should also be pretty interesting. But I think I'm gonna in a couple weeks I'll be reacting to that. So a week from next Friday, I'll be reacting to that. And next Friday, I plan to react to a video that I've also been wanting to react to for quite some time. So, yeah, stay tuned for all of that. So, overall, in this reaction video, make sure you like this video, subscribe to channel more videos, and leave a comment down below. Search what video I strike to next. And make sure to check out links to my socials and our sites in the description down below. Those who I keep up with my reaction videos and anything else I post. And just a quick heads up, I think I'll probably try to do it after this, but I do, besides my reaction videos, I am planning like a little short video right now that is based off a little joke I kind of thought of, and yeah, it'll be late. So yeah, so stay tuned for a short video that I will be releasing sometime Friday. So also stay tuned for that. So overall, science video. Hope to see you guys very soon. Bye.